Thanks for the support as a channel member, Sean Spence. Now, I know this isn't quite up to normal dress code, but I feel like we're in for a long one on this transfer special. We've lost Damien, we've lost Lawson, we've lost Duffy. It's going to be a long, hard summer. It's still scorchingly hot. It's got a collar on. That's the best I could do. I'm just going to be too hot, dressed up in that silly costume you ask me to wear every day. Yes, I'll wear a suit again for the first game of the season, don't worry. Hello and welcome to part 60 of the Greek Odyssey. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our season review and transfer special. We won the league. We did okay in the Champions League. We did okay in the Europa League. We got to the Greek Cup final and don't want to talk about it. And now let's see how we replace our three best players for the last goodness knows how many years. It is time for life without Damien and Duffy and Lawson. It's going to be tricky. And a lot of it comes down to how much money we've been given. And I don't know yet. We even got our budget on here. No, we're still not being given the budget. This is going to be an interesting one. Let's do the season review stuff first and then eagerly anticipate how much money Mrs Wearmouth is going to give me. If she gives me, hold on. Me again. Yeah, if you give me £20 million to spend, I'll put a suit on. Deal? She's thinking about it. Right, let's get into the season review stuff. So, players inducted into the all-time best 11. We've had Michaelis, Bozic, and Juan. Juan's made it into the all-time best 11. How? He's not very good. It doesn't matter. He's in the all-time best 11. So, all-time best 11 now has Brinoli in goal, who's still plying his trade. Oh, no, he's now plying his trade in Saudi America. Who's it? Saudi Arabia. My word. He was in Qatar, now gone to Saudi Arabia. Another big transfer fee, though. Maybe we didn't get more money than I would expected to get for him before. Giannoutzos still in at left back, who is a free agent, having played Visanti for the last couple of years. So that's, should we bring him back? No, we shan't. He's not very good. Michaelis, Lawson, Kalapitas, Lebrou, and Drutzos, who left us to go to Empoli for £3 million and has been enjoying life in Serie B and not playing anymore for Greece. Oh, no, he has. He played one substitute appearance for Greece. So we might have ruined him internationally, which is kind of the opposite of the point of the save. Duffy alongside him, and then Jura, who is returning to the club this summer. I think we're probably going to sell him. He's spent the second half of the season playing in La Liga, though, to be fair, and has played 15 games in La Liga. So, I don't know. We'll see how he compares to Sanchez when he comes back. Marola on the other side, who is back for another year. We extended his loan last summer, so he has got another year on his contract. And then Damien, of course, is the striker. I guess what we need to do, it would be wrong of me not to try at least once to extend these loans. So let's offer everything and just see. What's the worst that can happen? They'll say no. If we get one of these to extend, then that's for not. We can't even offer all of it. Can't even afford all of his wages. But let's offer what we can offer. Lawson as the final one. Again, we'll offer as much as we can offer. They're big salaries, though, these players are on. I don't expect to get any of them back, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. End of season awards. Damien, of course, getting player of the year, 75% of the votes. Marola, 10% in second place. Duffy, 9% in third place. Goal of the season went to Marola. Let's have a little look at it. It was against Crete, Crete, fairly early on in the season, I think. Did it say it was November? 0-0 in the 92nd minute. Not only is it a good goal, it was an important goal. Marola, it's a Marola special. Of course, it's a Marola special. De La Vega getting signing of the season, £4.25 million. He's come in, 5 goals, but more importantly, 14 assists and a 7.41 average rating. That makes him a good signing as far as I'm concerned. Plus, I finally learned how to say his name. He is officially De La Vega, not De La Vegas. Now, Damien, young player of the year as well. And then team of the season, Svilar in goal. A back four of Pinheiro, Lawson, Michaelis, Kalapitas, Lebrou, Cordoba and Duffy in midfield. Damien up front. Can't argue with any of this so far. But Jura on the left is a bit of a surprise. De La Vega not in at all is a bit of a surprise. No Sanchez, bit of a surprise. Marola does earn his spot, but I think you could make a very strong argument for either De La Vega or Sanchez being in on that left-hand side ahead of Jura. But like I say, Jura comes back and has the opportunity to force his way back into the team. Top scorer was Damien with 50 goals in all competitions. He didn't set the record for highest scorer ever in a Greek season. It was 39. He ended on 37. So not quite breaking that record, but it's a decent season. I'll let him have it. Averaged a 7.9. Most assists, Della Vega with 19. Werner, best pass completion. Damien, most man of the matches. Pinheiro, king of the Naughty Boys Club, which also includes Feliciano and Sfila. Sfila's had a season. He comes in for £5.5 million. He scored a goal. He got sent off trying to score another goal. People have asked me to show you his goal. It is just a near post header from a corner. There it is. Let's show you this goal. You've seen this goal before, not this one scored by Sfila, but you know what it's going to be if you've ever seen a near post header in Football Manager, which you have if you watch my videos. If you're new today, this is how I score a lot of goals. But it was Feliciano with the corner, and there's Sfila with the 85th minute equaliser against Ike, another very important goal. But then he tried to do it a little bit later and got sent off for handball in the same situation. So a very up and down first 6 months at Apollon for Sfila. I'm expecting better than that from a man that I spent all that money on. He needs to start showing some of this Benfica form for us. All these clean sheets. He kept 12 clean sheets from 14 games. I can't be that mad with him. Is that actually what that said? Hold on. No, that's when he conceded, Kev. He kept 3 clean sheets. This is where the clean sheets are. I looked at this before. I knew we needed him to keep more clean sheets. There's your evidence. Team of the thing with Sfila, just going back to him one more time. Remember, just like we always talk about with outfield players, he is still learning Greek. So doesn't speak a word of Greek at the moment. He will get better as he learns the language. Season review, we did good. Knockout, we did well in the group stage of the Champions League. In a group where we could have easily finished bottom, we ended up 3rd. We got a tough draw in the Europa League, losing to Juventus, but did win the Greek League and lost in the cup final. Can't complain with any of that. Maxed out our stadium, 98% capacity all season. The new stadium is still 2 years away, so we're going to be maxing out our stadium for a little bit longer, but then we get to move into our fancy new home, which might have places for fans on all 4 sides, which will be nice. Club Vision, the board, or Mrs Wearmouth, the board, is looking for me to just keep winning the Super League or challenge for the Super League next year, even though we've won it twice in a row. I think that's actually fair because we're losing our 3 best players. So keep challenge for the Greek Super League and then just keep winning it from then on. She wants me to maintain the best youth system in the country, maintain the best youth system in the world. We need to start turning out some good youth players. We haven't done it for a few years, but the setup is good. Maybe we need to look into a new youth development director, or just need to not be in Greece because there seems to be not much in the way of good Greek players coming through. We are not going to sign high-profile players. I don't mind making the most of set pieces. That's new and required. I can't take it off. We must, over the next 5 years, maintain the best youth system in the world. All right, Mrs Wearmouth. And win the Super League in 2 years is fine. I'm just going to take off this. You can't tell me to have the best youth system in the world and sign high-profile players because they are kind of mutually exclusive for a club our size because we're either going to invest in youth or invest in players. We haven't got the infrastructure to do both. Team leaders-wise, we are losing 2 of them, and the other one we're losing the following year. So we do need some of these guys to step up, the likes of Kalapitas, Lebrew, Bozic, Michaelis, Cordoba, these players who are here permanently. They need to be stepping up into those team leader roles as Damien and Duffy depart. Training camp location, Austria is fine, and we haven't got coefficient information yet, and we don't have budget information yet, unless that can't be already set because that's what we had left over from last year. I don't think we've had an announcement. Let's see what budgets we get. Here we go then. Budget is the very next thing it shows me. 4 million. That's exactly what we already had. They've done the Football Manager thing. Mrs Wearmouth, you've done the Football Manager thing where you've just given me what I already had. This is what we had left over from last year. You've effectively given me 0 budget. I've got to make do with what I already had, whilst replacing our 3 best players. For context, last year, we spent £38.5 million. This summer, we've got less than £5 million to spend. and to clarify what we need to spend it on. If we get rid of players who are expiring, so that gets rid of the guys who are leaving, we'll include loans out again. Yeah, do that for 3 stars. So up front, we have Marola and Feliciano, but we know Marola's a winger. So we've got Feliciano. We have got Kieran Blavins as well. Let's stick if we have a look at the 2-star guys, we've got Blavins. We've got Traore, who's been out on loan again this year. I mean, if he's ever going to be any good, it's going to have to be now, but let's face it, he isn't ever going to be any good. Putting it really bluntly, he's never going to be any good. On the left-hand side, we've got De La Vega, we've got Sanchez, and we've also got Erwin Bentracourt, who's joining us in the summer as another left winger. So I said Jura was going to get an opportunity. Jura's done. Jura's got our 4th choice. Paniolis is going to struggle as well in light of that. Although, to be fair, De La Vega is a right winger. So we're looking at Sanchez, Bentracourt, Paniolis on this side, Marola, De La Vega, and then Ramirez on the other side. Although we've got this guy as well, who's another young player, decent potential, who's out on loan currently. So we'll see what he's like when he returns from his loan. In midfield, I think we're fine in midfield. Cordoba, Bozic, Camara, and we've got Yossi Amran, who we signed last year. He's been out on loan playing for Parma in Serie A. So he's going to come back a better player, hopefully. He can compete with Lebrou as the defensive midfielder, leaving Cordoba, Bozic, and Camara as our 3 central midfielders. We've got young Pepe joining us this summer as well from Real Madrid, who is, I mean, he's really an advanced playmaker, but he is a natural central midfielder as well. And I think could be a decent attacking option for us in there. Whether or not we keep him or loan him out and sign someone else, I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll see how he is when he arrives. And then at the back, this is where we need to do some signings. We've got Michaelis. We've got Lorenzo Parola, who we signed last summer on a free transfer from Manchester City. Didn't really get in the team because of how many players are ahead of him. So he went out on loan to PAOK. He will be back and part of the team next year because obviously Lawson's not going to be here. Baldi is on loan for another year. So again, he's part of that mix. Kalapitas, we know, can play there too. We probably need 1 extra centre-back unless we decide Kalapitas is one, in which case we'd need 2 right-backs because Kalapitas, Juan, Baldi, and then Pinheiro. Bruno Rafael signed last summer, 18-year-old Brazilian. He's also out on loan at PAOK, so we'll have a look at him when he comes back. He's probably fine as the backup there. And then in goal, we've got Svila, we've got Werner, we've got the 2 youngsters, Thomas and Hodgkinson. So it's pretty clear what we need to do. We need to go and get a striker. And then we basically need to spend the entire budget on a striker. And then using free transfers, try and pick up a right back, a centre back, a midfielder who can compete with what we've got. We don't necessarily need better than what we've already got in those positions. Although right back we kind of do. But we need a really good striker. And finding a really good striker for less than 5 million quid is going to be a challenge. Well, here you go. A little bit of context for just how good Damien is. He's won the European Golden Shoe, which, as it says here, 21-year-old Damien is a shock winner as he plays for Apollon Smyrnis in Greece, which by UEFA coefficients are ranked as a second-tier nation. Right. Meaning Damien had to score more goals than his rivals from the top ranked nations to win the award. I don't think it is twice as many, but he, I mean, for context, he got a score of 55.5. Haaland, the year before, a score of 52. That was from 26 goals compared to... These are league goals, so Damien's 37 in the league. He's 55.5, would only be beaten by the Messi ridiculous seasons and the Ronaldo ridiculous seasons at Real Madrid and Barcelona. Other than that, he's... actually, some of these would beat him as well. He's done as well as Thierry Henry back in 2004. Damien did a good job, and he's got a tiny little thin head. Look at him. Tiny old thin head. We didn't get any of them back on loan, as you would expect. Let's just pat Damien on the head for being a good boy. He acknowledges the Apollon effect. We better be on his favoured clubs, and I better be on his favoured personnel. I'm on his favoured personnel, and we're on his favoured clubs. One day, maybe, we'll get this boy back. And we have had a little bit more money come into the club now from various sponsorships and things like that. And we've not been able to squeeze any more money out for players, though. So it's the 10th of June right now. I'm waiting for the 1st of July. I need to see what I can get on freebies first. Because as much as I would like to just go and blow the whole budget on a striker, we do need to be sensible. And buying an expensive striker is sensible, because we need one. But let's wait until the 1st of July. pick up a couple of bargains maybe, because looking at my shortlist, anyone who's any good costs more than we can afford. The best player who's in our kind of price range is a goalkeeper, another goalkeeper. In fact, if we look at strikers who are actually in our price range on these scout reports, so can't afford him, might be able to get him. Vitaly Karatnik, who is on loan from Atletico. He's a Belarusian striker who's not as good as Marola. And it would cost more than our entire budget. This is what we're up against. We keep looking. We're in the Club World Championship. I guess because we got to the final of the Europa League. It starts in 3 days. Coefficients are in, and the important news is we have gained an additional Champions League spot in Greece. We've moved up 3 places to 6th position on the coefficient table. We'll look at the coefficient table in a second, but this makes us top of the second tier, basically. In fact, should we look at it now? So here is your tier list. England, Spain, Italy, Germany, France. You'd consider them the big 5. We are best of the rest and not a million miles away from either Germany or France. If we look at those coefficient averages, England, Spain and Italy well ahead in the 80s on their coefficients, but Germany on 56 is their average and France on 58.5. We're on 52.8 in Greece. And if we look at how we've been doing in recent seasons compared to them, over the last 3 years, we've outperformed both of them. So we've got 6,000 points coming off next season. Germany have got 17,500 points coming off next season. France, 11,500. We have to, as a nation, absolutely flop next year, or we could potentially move up to the 4th best league in Europe on the basis of if everybody does 14, 15 points again, we move above both of them, which is ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous, I think. Is that right? No, so that's not next year. That's the year after. I know what I mean. So we won't do it next year. It'll be 2 years because that's next year. This is the year after. But still, we could get there the year after. Oh, I was more excited than I needed to be there. But we have got 2 teams going straight into the group stage from next year. So less pressure on us to actually win the league now, which is nice. And 3rd place in Greece now gets a qualifying round spot. 2 teams straight into the group stage is amazing. When we started this save, we got 1 team into the 2nd qualifying round, 1 into the 3rd qualifying round. I think this shows the huge progress we're making. We get 1 team straight into the group stage of the Europa Cup, the Europa League as well. And then 2 teams in the Europa Conference League into the qualifying rounds of that. So if we have a look at the qualifications places thing, if we do, so we've got the same Champions League spots as France now. And if we do manage to push past into that 4th spot over the next couple of years, that brings with it 4 Champions League group stage spots. So that could be that. I mean, that if we can get to 4th, Greece are rolling at that point. 4 Champions League spots. This whole league takes an upgrade with the huge amount of money that flows into the country. It would be absolutely amazing. Do we get coefficient points for the Club World Cup, which apparently we're playing now? I don't know. If we do well in that, this is going to be multiple videos for this summer now. It's going to be like the old days of qualifying for the Champions League. I didn't even know that was going to be a thing. None of you lot mentioned it either. So it's not just me who didn't realise we were going to get into the Club World Cup. Right, we do have a slight problem for this Auckland preliminary round game in that so many of our team are off on international duty. So we're going to be without Lawson, Damien, Duffy, Feliciano, and we've got a bunch of other players not registered, Germans on international duty as well. Sanchez is injured. So it is a bit of a new look attack. Let's get him back onto inside forward the way he's supposed to be. Traore has returned from his loan and is being thrown in at the deep end here. He got 12 goals in Israel this year just gone. So let's see if he might be the answer. The Club World Cup could be the making of Traore. It could be a disaster. It does mean Kalapitis has to continue at centre-back where he played in the Greek Cup final. So in a game I did not. We've got 2 goalkeepers on the bench as well because we have no one else in the squad. You can only play registered players. You can't stick any of the under-19s in. We had to register a 25-man squad, and it's a squad for the tournament. So if we qualify, theoretically, some of these internationals come back to play the rest of the tournament. So we had to put, but then I guess Lawson is away until his contract ends, as is Damien. These are all in the squad. I've messed up. I didn't know what I was doing here. I wasn't expecting this. I've not planned for it. It's a disaster. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Where is Bozic? Oh, he's there. He's injured as well. Okay, that's all right then. So, Svilar in goal. Back four of Pinheiro, Michaelis, Calapitas and Juan. Labru at the base of the midfield. Camera and Cordoba ahead of him. De La Vega and Marola supporting Traore up front, who's going to have to be given a squad number to play in the Club World Cup. He did not expect to be ending this season wearing the number 9 shirt in the Club World Cup. It is only the preliminary round. I don't know how good we are compared to Auckland City. I'd like to think this is a team we should be able to absolutely smash. But with a makeshift side, it does have the feelings of those early days Champions League qualifiers when we were having to come back. I mean, it's the middle of June and we're playing this. I had plans to do a normal summer this year, and I was deliberately not doing my transfers yet. I was waiting for the 1st of July. This has completely caught me by surprise and could be a total disaster. Juan trying to win the ball back, can't, but Cordoba is there, gives it back to Juan, who is looking for options ahead of him. He's just going to keep running down this wing. If Juan's looking good, then we should win this 8 or 9-0. Juan is looking pretty good. Plays it into Cordoba. That's a lovely pass. Cordoba, lovely little run back to Juan again. Our new superstar. Cross comes in. Traore's there. And there's his first goal of the season. Ousmane Traore is the new Damien. Who's Damien? We don't need Damien. We've got Traore. And he's just put us 1-0 up. Like I said, it could be the making of him this tournament. If he does well here, then who's to say he shouldn't get an opportunity back in the Greek league next year, which, as we know, is a league that's getting stronger, but there's still a lot of poor teams in it. Big, long throw, and their goalkeeper scratching around it there. I don't know if we get money for this. What's the money situation in the Club World Cup? Is this going to give us a whole bunch of cash? Because if not, I'm not really that bothered about playing in it, which is weird because I know in the Bourne series, I'm deliberately staying on for another year after finishing the series, effectively, to play in this because I haven't really played in the Club World Cup this year. Not knowing that I was going to be playing in it with Apollon. But here we are. Labru with the free kick. Michaelis heads just over. It's only 6 years into the save. Within 6 years, we've taken this team from the Greek second division to the Club World Cup. I'm the best manager in history. Right, Michaelis heads it forward to Cordoba. Labru now looking for options. Juan is always going to be the best option. The number one option. We're going to make this guy a star. If it kills me. Look at him. Dancing past his opponent. He's going to dance past another one. Cross from Juan. Looking for De La Vega. Can't find him. And Auckland clear, but only as far as Michaelis, who's just going to start a run of his own. Overlapping centre-backs, anybody? Look at the state of this from Michaelis. Cross comes in looking for the big guy, Traore, who, of course, is enormous. I don't remember how enormous. I think he was like 6'6". We'll have a look at him in a second. But first, we get a Marola special. A 24th goal of the season for him. I thought he was nearer to 30 goals than that. But he might get to 30 goals by the end of the season. Because apparently, we're in the season that never ends here with Apollon. Can't believe Mrs Wearmouth has let me off with not having to wear a suit for matches. This is unheard of. Where in the world are we? She obviously doesn't know we're here. I didn't know we were here. She's off on her holidays. We are in... That's Olympiakos' ground. Why are we playing at Olympiakos' ground? Are you telling me the Club World Cup is taking place in Greece? Ridiculous. Oh, imagine being an Olympiakos fan knowing this is going on. This could have been you, boys. This could have been you. We've got a penalty. It's Marola to take. Is this competition really happening in Greece? Because we're now destined to win the whole thing. Marola makes it 3-0. Now, I know we're not going to win the whole thing because you get all of the finalists from all of the tournaments. around the world for the last several years. So there's so many teams that are so much better than us. We saw in the Europa League this year against Juventus and in our Champions League group that we're not top tier. We're not a top tier European side yet. And we're going to have to do this without our best players and having not replaced them yet. But we're certainly better than Auckland City, and Lebrew has just got his 7th goal of the season, and it's yet another lovely free kick from Dionysis Lebrew. Now we know we probably didn't need to show you this game because it's just going to be an absolute rout. De La Vega now with the corner. Traore's there again. It's his 2nd of the game. It's 5-0 now to Apollon. I don't know. I don't know how this works. I don't know if this is us into the group stages of this now, or whether we have to do more qualifiers, because ultimately we lost in the final of the Europa League after an easy run 2 years ago. It's utterly bizarre that we get into this tournament through this route, but here we are. De La Vega, 10th goal of the season for him, 6-0. This is good. I like this. We're doing all the winning. I think what I am going to do, though, because this is a transfer special and we know we've won this, rather than making you sit through it and make me commentate on it, we'll just come back at full time because it's already 6-0 at half an hour. We'll come back at full time. So we're just entering the final few minutes of a game that's had 57 shots, 24 of them on target. We've had 71% possession. We're 9-1 up at the moment. 4 goals from Traore is the real standout. We've got Blavins on the pitch now. We've changed our defence around. There's over 32,000 people in this stadium, and huge kudos to the 32 people who've travelled all the way from New Zealand to cheer on Auckland. But this is very much a home game for us, and we've had to travel 15 minutes down the road. And I think it's a further indication that our new ground might not be big enough for us, because if we can get 32,000 fans for a game like this, what are we doing moving into a ground that fits 25,000 in 2 years' time? This club's going places. We need a bigger ground than this. There you go. A 10-1 win. Well done, lads. None of us were expecting that. And Bowdy's tired. Perfect 10. Classy Traore. I mean, there's no better way for him to try and force his way into my plans for next year. 6'6", clearly can finish. I just don't know if he's good enough looking at that lovely star rating. And we have a group. We are in the group stages, and it's Juventus again. So we've got the chance for revenge on Juventus, and the tournament is taking place in Greece. So having been in Qatar, Japan, Abu Dhabi, China, it's Greece. We're in Greece, and there's a Greek team in it. The whole nation is behind us. Are even the Olympiacos fans cheering us on? Probably not. But we'd be cheering them. No, we wouldn't. No, we wouldn't. I guess we're gonna do some more of these then. When are these matches even taking place? So they're officially next season now. I think I'll play that one off camera. We'll show you the Juventus one. And then that'll be it for today's episode. We'll carry on with the transfer special tomorrow, starting up from the 1st of July, where I thought we were going to get to. I didn't know this was happening, or I'd have planned it all better. Oh, both us and Juventus won our first game of the group. So group decider, Apollon versus Juventus in Greece. So if we go back to the corresponding fixture last year, just as a little reminder, Apollon versus Juventus in Greece was a 1-0 victory for Apollon. We could do the unthinkable here and book a spot in the knockout rounds of the Club World Championship, which, just to give you a little taste of the teams that have already qualified. Where are we? Not the preliminary round. So if we look at all groups, we'd be joining Atletico, whoever they are, Man City, Liverpool, Barcelona, Inter or Real Madrid. We'd get spanked, but we could get there. And this is the team. It's basically the same team as last time. There's no one else registered or fit. So you know who's playing. Let's see if we... I'm so confused that this is happening. Oh my goodness. Look at the state of them. They don't have all their best players off playing in under 19 or under 21 games. Go out there, carry straight on from where you finished the last match. Our last 2 games have been excellent. We are in good form. We're playing well. Traore's scoring goals. He's obviously not going to be the long-term answer, but he certainly seems good enough for this tournament so far. And you never know, we might catch Juventus unawares. I think we're less likely to on the basis of the fact we've already beaten them recently. But camera's in! And ridiculously, less than 2 minutes on the clock. It's Apollon 1, Juventus 0. And we did not anticipate starting the game like that. This club gets crazier and crazier. I know I don't like a target man, but Traore using every inch of his 6'6" build to flick that on and create the chance for camera. And I mean, they're 2 of the forgotten men from last year. Neither of them anywhere near the team for the Greek Cup final. One of them out on loan in Israel. The other one was done. He was like our 4th choice central midfielder. This tournament is reigniting careers here at Apollon, and Marola has just put us 2-0 up, less than 10 minutes on the clock, and Juventus are stunned. The Milan loanee, David Marola, who's obviously more Greek than Italian and more Apollon than Milan, he's our boy. He's here next year, or this year now. We've moved into the new season, and that is a lovely finish from Marola, and I would have not taken any kind of bet that suggested we could be 2-0 up against Juventus. I'm now thinking, what could have happened in the Europa League if we'd have had this performance that night? Because we were afraid of them then, and we're playing without fear now because we've got absolutely nothing to lose. Marola's in again, and I thought he was going to make it 3. This is a performance from the Apollon boys. Della Vega with the corner. Finds Michaelis. Michaelis heads over. Michaelis, of course, the scorer in the previous victory over Juventus. But this is nuts. I still expect to lose the game. I still expect them to come back into it. And if it's a draw, Juventus will go through because they have the superior goal difference going into the game. So we have to hold on to our victory, or to our lead. Hold on to our victory. Hold on to our lead. But a 2-goal lead is a lot easier to hold on to than a 1-goal lead. If my maths serves me correctly, but it is now Juventus starting to control the game a little bit more, getting some possession. Although, to be fair, they've still not had a shot. 23 minutes on the clock, not had a shot yet, and we've scored 2 goals. So I just don't think they were expecting us to start the way we've started. They're obviously into this with 1 fewer game of practice and match fitness than we are. Who knows how important that preliminary game could end up being, because nobody's training for this tournament, surely. We're all coming into this with no match fitness. It's at such a stupid time of the year, because you can't stay fit from the end of the season for 6 weeks to come and play in it. You can't come back for your season. You can't come back for pre-season a month early either. How do teams prepare for this in real life? Traore's just hit the post, I think. I think it might have gone wide. Titty for them. He's having a poor game. But now I've said his name, he'll score, because we all know the rules of Football Manager. But you can see how much they're tiring. I mean, we're tiring too, but I would suggest condition is low for both teams, but we've got the match fitness advantage from having played 1 extra game. Marola finds Camera, who scores again, and it's an absolute worldie, and against all odds, it's Apollon 3, Juventus 0 in the Club World Championship. We're getting through into this knockout round, boys and girls. This is an absolute madness. Utterly insane. This throws my plans into disarray again. I don't know where to split these videos. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I was convinced, right, we'll get knocked out of this, and then we'll come back 1st of July, do the transfers as normal, all will be fine. We're going to have to put a match in there now, I guess. Or does it go in this video? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Plan, cross to Della Vega, but it goes just over. We're 3-0 up against Juventus. Without the 3 players, we started this video panicking that we were losing. We're doing this without them. We don't need them. I don't know what to do. Blavins is going to come on. Baldi's on loan to us. Oh, no, he's not on loan from Juventus. I always make that mistake. He's not. He left Juventus last summer, so he can come on. We're just going to we've made this triple substitution every time. just to try it. They're the only 3 players who can come on. So let's just try and keep everybody as fit as possible. We absolutely have to drop a little bit of praise here. And we've got a corner, and it's Lebrou in swinger. Traore's there, and I think we've won a penalty. I think we might be about to go 4-0 up over Juventus. It's Camera on a hat-trick, and it's saved. Turning point of the game, anybody? Let's hope not. Let's hope they've not got time to get back into it. We do have another corner, which is where all the trouble came from before. Because remember, Traore, 6'6", causes all manner of problems in there. And it's just chaos. Every time we get a corner, Traore creates chaos because he's so tall. He's a beanpole. He's lighter than I was when I was 11, but he's so tall. Probably says more about me than him. Unless I don't even know. Has he put on some weight? Oh, you know what? Less than 14 stone at 6'6" is still Peter Crouch-esque. But I think he was under 13 stone when we first signed him. So he's filling out a little bit, which has got to be a good thing. Not as good as beating Juventus and knocking them out of this tournament, though. They are going to travel back to Italy, tails between their legs. They have been humbled here, and we're announcing ourselves as proper contenders with a performance like this. The Greek league's had its upgrade that we saw earlier on. Traore's made it 4. And Greek football means business, folks. And Apollon are leading the charge. And Traore, let me know down in the comments, am I insane? Are we going to risk going with him? Because he's now done it against Juventus. A goal and an assist and an 8.5. We're through to the next round. I have no idea who we're going to play, when we're going to play them. I guess we'll find that out before deciding what to do next. When is the next match? So, quarter-final. Do we know when this is? So we face whoever wins Group H. So it's going to be us against either Inter or Real Madrid. They play each other last? They don't. It's so Real Madrid drew with Inter. So maths comes into it now. If Real Madrid beat Atlanta United by 6 goals or more, it's them. I don't know. It might be a coin flip to see who we play. Let's see the outcome of that game and find out who we're playing. Then we should know when we're playing. We're playing Inter, and it's going to be in just a couple of days' time. So I guess that will be what opens up tomorrow's episode. And then presumably we do get knocked out of the World Club Championship, and we can carry on with the transfer window from there. This has been mad. Utterly mad. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.